Hello there, Carrington here from Open Heart Games. We are back with our playthrough of the Tyranny of Dragons, a 5th edition module, which was one of the first ones created for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. We are in Chapter 8, Castle in the Clouds, which, if you've been following along, is the last chapter in the first half of the module, which was originally known as Hoard of the Dragon Queen. After that, we will run into Rise of Tiamat, which contains, of course, the worst-kept secret in Faerun, that the Cult of the Dragon is trying to bring Tiamat into the Forgotten Realms. What? Spoilers? Whoa, oh no.
Wait, what?
So
thanks, man. I was going to watch it next week.
Yeah, so here we are. I guess there is a couple of cool things. One, if you didn't notice already, we have new emotes, so you can use those in our Twitch channel, including one that is very special, and that's 10 minutes and a sandwich, which is what we fondly refer to our short and sometimes long rests as in this stream. So feel free to use all of those, and if you like what we do, definitely subscribe and follow us here on Twitch. One of the things I've found that's really cool that's been going on lately is I really like how now that Wizards has D&D Beyond in their kind of pantheon of Dungeons & Dragons products, they've been doing more previews, and they have been, giving us a little bit more content. And it's not all, huge stuff. It's like the Vecna stat block, and here's a free module, and here's that. Recently, they did kind of a... they gave us the first whole chapter of the Radiant Citadel, which is the next... now I'm going to look this up, because it was delayed. When does it come out? Journeys through the Radiant Citadel. It's going to come out July 19th. But right now, if you have a D&D Beyond account, you can get the first chapter right now, and you can unlock it with your D&D Beyond account.
If you don't have a D&D Beyond account, you really should.
That is very, very true. But it's kind of I think, in my opinion, and this is just me knowing very, very little about the Radiant Citadel itself, I don't know if it's a new place. I don't know if it's like a reimagined place, but it seems like a really cool place that you could launch a spell. I'm on the Spelljammer train. You could launch a Spelljammer campaign from, or have a place that they could come to visit this location. I think that the Radiant Citadel is going to be a really cool module. It's that kind of like Candlekeep Mysteries, where you have a whole bunch of disconnected modules, individual just kind of one shots, but they share a common where you came from. So your kind of your keystone, for lack of a better term, is the Radiant Citadel, this location itself. And I've run a fair amount of stuff in Candlekeep Mysteries, and I must say, I really like it. There are a couple, obviously, if you have a whole bunch of different, people sharing a whole bunch of different visions, obviously some of them can feel a little, not quite disjointed, but the mood is going to be different. But that's going to be anytime you have a collaboration, piece like this, where everything's kind of, hinging on only one thing. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this. I think it's going to be a really good source book to help flush out the astral plane, the ethereal plane, and stuff like that. So that was kind of the only thing that I really noticed of note for Dungeons and Dragons kind of news recently. So there. That's what I got for you. Anyone else have any? Go ahead.
I was going to say there's a lot of great content on Yield TikTok related to D&D. There's a lot of great content creators going out, and some funny, entertainment, meme-ish kind of content related to D&D, but there's also quite a few content creators that go through and you learn a thing or two about new combinations of different classes. To someone's going around and like has a video series of because we just got that Monsters Multiverse, and all those classes got changed, or all those races got changed and tweaked, and so they've been running a video series kind of explaining why the changes are dope for all of them. So if you're not a TikTok user, just like D&D Beyond, you should.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of really cool, like, those kind of short, like, hey, you can do this and do that and put these two classes together. I guess real quick before we kind of jump back into where we are and what we're doing, what are some, like, obviously, like, multi-classing is a thing, but does anyone have any particular, like, class combinations that they really enjoy that they've played? And I guess we can start. We'll start with Patron today.
Okay. I've toyed around with multi-classing a lot, but I haven't played it, but I've theory crafted a few multi-classes. One I've been super excited to try is an Abjuration, I think it's Abjuration Wizard, and a Warlock, because I think that, like, Abjuration's the one that gets the shield that can defend people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've really wanted to use Armor of Agathist with that and just kind of make, like, a mage, like, not a healer, but, like, just a shielder. Like, I just, defend everyone.
Yeah. I think there's a way that you can use, like, the Armor of Shadows or whatever it is, and you can cast that on yourself at higher levels and then just keep, like, procking the abjuration. The abjuration deal?
Yeah, because you get it
it's not a spell, is it?
No, it counts as a spell. It
counts
as casting a spell for the ability. And you can use it free at will, which is nice. And every time you use it at will, you replenish your abjuration shield. So essentially, that is one of the tricks of the build. Is like you basically recharge your shield when you can after encounters, and then you have a new shield to use. Now, obviously, it's not really good inside encounters to use, but it's a way between encounters to essentially gain an additional 15 hit points for the party.
Nice. And I guess we'll go down to Zed. Do you have any multi-classes that you've either played with or theory crafted or toyed around with?
Yeah, definitely. One of my favorite things to do on D&D Beyond is just create characters for fun, just to see how they look and how they shape up, and you get to kind of auto level and can kind of
there's really no other reason to have the app, if we're honest, right?
Yeah. But overall, currently Zed is just going to be a monk, but we're playing with the newest addition to the class, which is through Fizban's Treasury, the Way of the Ascendant Dragon. But I have theory crafted a monk that uses the Hunter Ranger. It's a cat, the Tabaxi.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the hunter of the monastery, if you will. And so being able to just like lean in and punch things and use a sword is pretty much all we want to do. You and I, Carrington, have theory crafted the monk warlock combination.
Yep.
using Packblade.
And then you become a Kensai, which is cool.
You become a Kensai, and you got your pack weapon as your sword, and you can get really, really deep into a story around that. Or you just got some pretty cool protection spells. You're not necessarily an Eldritch Blasting kind of warlock. You're more of a Armor of Agathist kind of warlock, which is always fun. But the one that I've really enjoyed most has been during our charity stream, playing what is basically Loki, in D&D, the Trickery Domain Cleric / Warlock combination, and just being able to shift yourself around, multiply yourself, get into chaos, and be Loki, and that has been a lot of fun for sure.
Very nice. And
even Boulder when we did the Temple of Doom, Tomb of Horrors, that one really went off into, because when we talk about multi-class, it's usually X and Y is the multi-class. But Boulder actually had a third. Took a third dip, which you rarely see when we talk about multi-classing. So if it fits and you need some of the extra little things, it can be quite powerful. But yeah, D&D Beyond is so much fun just creating characters. You get like unlimited of them. You get to work with your resources that you have and just get to play in an everlasting sandbox.
Absolutely. And Baylor.
So first off, Warlock main, Warlock all day. I am quite honestly really liking the way that Warlock Barbarian is going to play out. Something about Warlock just plays well with a lot of other stuff. I played a Warlock Rogue for a little while, and the Archfey Pact of the Chain Master, I believe. So I had a familiar, and I could cast Misty Step when hit. So it gave me another way to pick up sneak attack on my next attack if I did happen to get in too close and get hit. I just Misty Step somewhere where they can't see me, pop out, automatically have sneak attack because they can't see me, and or my familiar be in range and giving me advantage.
Very nice. And Mordock.
The only one I've actually played is, of course, these all seem to be based on warlocks. The classic Paladin Warlock, which is just ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's all the multi-classes are off of warlocks. The one I want to play around with, and if I ever am bored enough to just create characters, I want to see if I can get a Tabaxi up to a speed of about 100.
You can at level 13 you can get to 100 because you'll have a base of 15, and then the Tabaxi's ability to double its movement for a turn will get you to 100.
It's just, there's got to be a way with a Tabaxi. They move real fast. You take Rogue or Monk or something. There's got to be a way to just have him just be a whirlwind on the battlefield. And nobody ever plays Tabaxi. They're like, they have no love. Oh.
So there's a guy on YouTube, Min-Maxing Munchkin, I think is his YouTube name, and he actually has the bullet is what he calls the build, and it's literally the fastest monk you could possibly build.
And I think if you take mobile, you just make an attack against someone, you can make an attack, move, make an attack, move, and then throw a knee at someone, and then move without incurring any attacks of opportunity.
That character has to exist out there because it's got to be way broken, and we all know monks are OP.
Monks are OP. I want an Oops All Monk campaign where they're, speaking of multi-classing, where everyone's a monk, you all start off in a little monastery, and then eventually everyone specializes, and that's the second class. So you've got just the nerdy monk that likes to tinker with things as an artificer, and then the big money jocks are the fighters and barbarian classes, and then you're all monks, but then you have the multi-classes your specialty.
I want to so here's the thing. I think that it's almost time for them to do a version 5.5. And I'd like to see them, and this is just me wishing into the aether.
Please God, no, I don't want to buy new source books.
You know it's coming.
They're gonna make you buy new source books.
Yeah, it'll be all right. So
5e till I die, homie.
Yeah, but it'll be 5.5. It'll be fine. Everything will be backwards compatible. They did it with 3.5. I'm sure they'll do it again. It's a winning recipe. No one got overly mad, and like you'll still be able to play like 5th edition. Like no one's gonna be mad. No one's gonna be like, we must play 5.5. Like if you wanted to, the stuff will all be there.
Try to convince me to play 3.5.
Convince you? I liked 3.5. It's so crunchy, and I have some friends who really, really just love Pathfinder. But I don't know, maybe it's just me, the older I get, the more I just want the rules to be simple and for it to be like, because I remember having to prep for an encounter for 3.5, and it's like prepping monsters and prepping a battle and all of that. It's just so much because it's such a crunchy system. Like a single combat, like this dragon fight took last session, could take you 4 hours. It could take you an entire evening of campaign to do an entire just like one battle. Or if your players are rolling hot and you didn't have a whole lot prepared, you just ended early because you had no idea how long the battle was going to be.
Sure.
But
4E for life on battle mechanics. Someone fight me. Like
yes.
actual combat system of 4E was perfection. Now the role playing system was poor.
Yeah.
But the combat was well tuned and very well done.
I think
and
that you're
be in every version.
We've talked about this before, not on the stream, but I think that you're in the minority there. I think that 4th edition is a fine role playing system, but one of the reasons why it gets a lot of hate, I don't think that it's fair that it gets as much hate as it does, is that it diverted so drastically from 3.5 that people weren't ready for it. But I think that it is a fine role-playing system, and if it would have been just like, quote, a generic, like if it would have been just like generic fantasy, it would have been widely accepted and people would have been like, this system's great. But it changed so much from the crunch of 3.5 that people weren't ready. And I think that 5th edition is a good marriage of like all the things from all the previous editions that people really liked. I think they really did a good job with their crowdfunding. And it has its problems, but there's no perfect role-playing system. So
I would agree. I think they really do need to bring minions and lackeys back, because those two specific rules for monsters gave the power fantasy of fantasy, and that is what a lot of people like when they come into a role-playing game. They want to have like the Legolas moment.
Yeah, have that, be able to go out there and be a medieval superhero. What were you saying, Zed?
I was just gonna say, I think you're starting to see the unfolding of a 5.5 without calling it 5.5, with books like Monsters of the Multiverse, where they just went in and cleaned house with all their races and tuned them and balanced them and said, hey, you can play a legacy version of it. Like the resources are still there to you, but here's how we're doing it. So, and with it came more flexibility, because all of those races allow you to pick your bonuses. So if you want to play, a relatively buffed kobold, which doesn't sound like it makes sense, like you can take your bonuses in strength versus just the de facto, here's your dex bonus for being a little thing that can run around.
Yeah.
So it opens up the door to some pretty crazy combinations when you look at what you need to be effective in a particular class with pretty much whatever race. And I think that's the slow unfolding of a 5.5 without calling it 5.5.
I'd like to see them revisit some of the previous classes. And the subclasses, because I feel like some of them are just really, really weak. For example, Way of the Four Elements, I think could definitely be remade and buffed up and made stronger. Beastmaster Ranger could definitely use a buff. Trying to think, non-assassin rogue, like the Thief Rogue. I think that there's a lot of those that could use a revisit.
And with WotC in control, they could take what they did with Monsters in the Multiverse that focused on all the races at once. They could just roll out kits, and it's like, here's the You know, here's the monk package. Here's the
subclasses revisited.
Yeah,
the subclass. Like, so you just get repackaged. It still fits into the 5e mold. It's just
now you're going down a Pathfinder road.
there's so many books out there. I mean, like my shelf, you can't really see it behind me, but like my shelf is. I have how many? Let's see here. I have one whole shelf that is just covered or not covered, but it is full. Like I actually can't fit all my D&D books for just 5th edition on one shelf. That's where we're at right now. Now, granted, I have all the modules too, but like as a player, there's still a fair amount of books that you could want, have, or need.
There's like 18 players. Just for players, because I have them all on D&D Beyond. There's 18 of them.
I remember when Sword Coast Guide came out, and the poor Ranger. Ranger's finally come into its own now. There are 2 really, really good, one very flavorful, and one like just very good as far as like Rangers go, and that's Gloomstalker for the Munchkins, and Drake Warden for the role players, and then also just like you get a dragon, and it's good. Like it's a really good. Yeah.
Drake Warden is absurd. I put it on the same level as Gloomstalker.
Wow.
Those are the 2. Like, it's so good.
For sure. Someone else had something they were wanting to cut in and say.
I did. Actually, the shift that they've been making slowly towards like the 5.5-ish style, if you've noticed, they've switched 2 big things. Monster stat blocks have changed. And the other big thing is they've started to go to proficiency bonus per short rest instead of per long rest, per anything else. And essentially they're like setting things based on proficiency bonus, which I think is a more balanced way of making a mechanic.
I agree.
Yep.
Yeah, especially like, I mean, like the thing, one of the species that really needed a little bit of a facelift, for lack of a better term, and needed some attention and needed some love, were Dragonborn. Like, I think Dragonborn are amazing, but the fact that you got once per long rest, you got either a line, which was clearly superior because you could hit one guy in the back if you needed to, or a cone that did like 2d6, like and then they got a save for half. Like most of the time, like it's just and it costs your action too. Most of the time, it was just better for you to just swing your sword if you're a fighter.
It was really good at low level, and it just
and it didn't scale well.
My Palloc was a Dragonborn, and I never used my breath weapon because I always had better things to do.
Yeah, I will say, as a wizard, I played a gold Dragonborn wizard, and it was nice to have like a third Burning Hands. That's a third not as good Burning Hands is what it basically was. So it was nice when it was just like if we were fighting kobolds, sorry Zed, or goblins, you could just be like Burning Hands, also Burning Hands, breath weapon, got him. Like, so. Go ahead.
But I was just piggyback, but putting it on the proficiencies per short rest, you actually put more control into the DM's hands. So if someone's a little too, if it becomes a little too unruly, it's real easy not to give them rest.
Yep.
And so then they have to manage. Like if you want to nerf Zed, don't give him the short rest to reload his key, and things like that. So the fact that all the little perks are now based on short rest, 10 minutes in a sandwich, like, sorry, don't have time to make that sandwich.
Yep, you don't have time to slice that bread and put everything on there. So I've been playing, like, in my spare time. I played through a fair amount of Baldur's Gate 3, which eventually I'm going to. Once the game is a little bit more stable, I eventually want to stream it. But right now it is It is very good, but it is in early access, and it is not as stable as I would like it. So once I am confident that I can actually make through an entire stream without it crashing, then I will probably stream that. But one of the things that they do that's really cool in that game, and something I'm probably going to incorporate myself, is you have 2 short rests that you can use before you take a long rest. So you can't just take infinite short rests. Or you have 2, and then you have to long rest. And I think that's probably... Because, I mean, the whole game is based on... Baldur's Gate 3 is based on, like, Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. I think that's probably where... This probably sounds correct. That also makes Warlocks a lot more potent. Because you end up with, at the end of the day, you would end up with 6 spell slots. And they're maximized, as opposed to, like, you know, if you're going through a dungeon and you have no opportunity to take a short rest, you essentially are a not so great wizard with Eldritch Blast. So you're just a dude with 2 spell slots and a pistol, you know, running through a dungeon. Which I will say, like, as a game master, I love to, you know, have in-depth campaigns where there's lots of exploration and opportunities for role play and so on and so forth. But as someone who is a player and as someone who's an optimizer, now I wouldn't want to do like one after the other, but I really like dungeon crawls because I love optimizing like like sitting down and like prepping just the right skill set and the right spells for what I think might happen, and then deciding, okay, we could blow through this encounter and I could level this entire room with a fireball. But am I going to need that spell slot for whatever's in the next room? I really like that style, but that's me, and maybe that's just like, you know, 3.5 was very crunchy, and that's kind of where I cut my teeth. But that's kind of my 2 cents on that. I was going to mention. So we're going way back to the original topic of like what were your favorite multi-classes. I have one that is a favorite of mine that I've played once. That is not Warlock based. So first level, you take 2 levels in Paladin, and then the rest of your levels are all in Bladesinger Wizard. You run around in medium armor. You have Blade Song, which is very good. You get an extra attack at 6th level, so about 8th level is where you actually start coming into your own because you get 2 attacks. But if you're ever able to get up to 12th level, you can start using your magic to absorb damage, which means that you're a really good tank. But where this build, in my opinion, really shines is the fact that you can use any spell slot to smite. And so you have, by the time that you're at, like, let's say that you have 5th level spell slots, you get to roll 10d8 when you're smiting. So if you crit, that's 20d8, and that's a lot. So, you know, all the damage. But
that's just a what are they called? The group of owls. It's just one druid shenanigan spell.
Group of owls, huh?
What are they?
A Congress.
A Congress?
Congress of Owls. That's
right.
Sorry,
Congress of Owls.
A Parliament of Owls.
Oh,
Parliament.
Yeah,
Yes.
the best spell in the game, you mean?
It's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, let me summon a 10.
Oh.
That was my first time ever casting it. I've witnessed it, but I've never done it myself.
So the maximum is 5d8, but you have extra spell slots so you can do it. I was double checking my math on that. But your highest you could get is to 5d8. Maximum 5d8, looks like they updated that. But you have more spell slots than a normal paladin does. Plus you have Blade Song, and like I said, you can use your spell slots to also like absorb damage equal to 5 times the spell slots level. So if they hit you with an attack, or it's actually, no, it's your reaction. If your Blade Song is active, you can take your reaction to spend a spell slot to reduce the damage by the amount 5 times the spell level. Also, for this build, for doing like the Paladin Bladesong kind of thing, you also get the ability to wear heavy armor if you want to, but that negates your Bladesong. So you could run around in plate if you wanted to, but again, it negates your Bladesong. But it's I don't know, it's fun. Like I said, because you can go like, all right, well, let's cast Fireball. Another option is like you can go Wizard Fighter and get 2 levels in Fighter, and you can Action Surge Fireball, Fireball Action Surge Fireball. So that's also a fun little way that you can kind of bend the rules. So there we are. Anyways, so we've good.
One last thing, and I'll sort of whole new topic. Everybody likes to min-max. Sometimes it's fun to just roll up a broken character.
Mm-hmm.
I had of all things, a Dragonborn rogue. Then I made him an assassin. He was a terrible rogue. He was fun to play. He was no good at it. Well, it's like, well, I want to be a thief. I want to be this assassin dude, but I really suck. So, but he was really fun. You can have a lot of fun with a broken character too.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, having a non-optimized character is definitely gives you a lot of opportunities for great role playing. Like one of my favorite characters I played was an enchantress. And in order to make what I felt was going to be a really good enchantress, I put points into her dexterity so she could have a better armor class, and points into her intelligence so she could be a better spellcaster. And then I actually put strength and con as dump stats, and then put the rest of my points in charisma, so that I could be a wizard who was also the face of the party. And we would start out by this character saying she would try to talk her way through, and she was okay at it. Like, there were definitely characters who were better at this, but she would always try. And then if it didn't work, she would just be like, all right, fine, charm person. That didn't work, dominate person. Like, she was going to get her way, whether it just depended on whether or not you were going to listen to her, or whether she was going to force you to do whatever it was that she wanted at that time. Like, one time in the campaign, one of the NPCs was rather irksome, and so she was just like, suggestion, why don't you go take a very long swim, and made this Kuo-toa swim to the other side of Dark Lake in minor spoilers from Out of the Abyss, where there was a demon lord over there. I don't know if he survived, and frankly my character didn't care. But you're right, it is fun to play a non-optimized character from time to time. But it can also be kind of frustrating, especially if you're playing like a charisma 13 warlock, and that's and you have your other points and other things.
Sorry, I almost threw up a little bit. What did you say? A charisma 13 warlock?
What is your charisma?
Oh, you're right.
What is it?
It's 13. I had to take strength for barbarian, okay?
See, and that makes sense, But I'm saying, there are minimums for a reason.
You'll get a feat someday, and you can raise it one.
See, that's the problem. I don't spend it on gaining one ability modifier. I spend it on feats. So every time I level up, I'm like, ooh, a new cool thing I can do. Wait a minute. I still suck at charisma.
A lot of the feats come with a +1.
Yeah, or proficiency.
Yep. That's funny. All right, well, we're 30 minutes into the stream. We've not done our recap. Huzzah! I guess let's go ahead and jump in. And
I got this. We fought a white dragon. He ran away.
That is not inaccurate. That's great. All right, so
that is a recap in totality, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for sticking around.
Marvelous. Let's go ahead and dive right into the. Into introducing our colorful cast of characters real quick.
Let me just add, he not only didn't run away, but he told the whole castle that we were down here stealing all the treasure.
That is true.
He lied. We're not taking it all. We don't have pockets that big.
Oh, that's true. because we can't get a bag of holding for some reason, but whatever. I'll start. I'm Dave. I'm Mordok. I'm a protector, Azamar cleric who sometimes has a strange way of healing people, or just doesn't heal people. Depends on how he feels.
Strange methodology.
Strange methodology, you know. So you'll have to go back and watch it. It was quite humorous.
So it's funny you mentioned that, because we were just talking before the stream. Someone's like, "Are we gonna have our cleric today? Don't we need a healer?" And someone said, "In theory, he's a healer."
Well, I would have been here a little earlier, but I was arguing with Discord on what a truck picture looked like. So.
Oh, you were arguing with Discord?
Oh no, not the dreaded truck picture.
No, that's a truck.
Since this is just the episode of tangents. There was one time when I was doing one of those and I had to select all the traffic lights, and
oh no,
and there was one that was just like, there was a pixel over, and I was like, and it was like, nope, and I was like, fine, and there was one that was like, select all the bicycles. I may have told this on the stream before, and I don't remember if I did. Select all the bicycles. So I selected all the bicycles, and it was like, try again, and I looked, and there's a bicycle rack on the back of a car, and you can only see like the back tire of it, and I was like, are you serious, Google?
I will be right back. My dog is up to shenanigans.
I was like, really, Google? Come on now. All right, well, since Baylor's dog is up to shenanigans, let's go ahead and we'll drop down to Patron.
Oh, was introduction time?
Yeah, introduction time.
Hello everyone, I'm Brad, also known as Hitohari in chat, and I am playing Patron Purpleheart, our kind of sort of other cleric who heals.
Nice, very nice.
But is actually a druid.
But is also a druid.
You really need to do the Goodberry thing too. That's very broken.
Yeah, Goodberry is real good. Goodberry and Baldur's Gate 3 also really good.
I could have gone Life Cleric, and that Goodberry could be healing us 40 points a thing. Talk about broken combos.
Yep. I think also one of the things that I'm going to go ahead and do is Baldur's Gate 3. I'm just going to do this for all my campaigns moving forward. I don't know if I've done it in this campaign. Critical Role does it. Baldur's Gate 3 does it. I will be very surprised if when they do a rules update, they don't do this, but drinking a potion from now on is a bonus action. Like, taking. Administering a potion to someone, still an action.
What if they're willing?
Most likely they're going to be unconscious, so I'm going to say administering a potion, action.
Taking a potion, bonus action. I like
Objection, Your Honor.
Yeah?
Overruled.
You heard it.
I object to the overruling.
No, you can't. You can't, and the reason why is that Patron is a member of Parliament. He proved it last session.
A moment with counsel, Your Honor.
So here you go. 5 XP for whoever movie trivia. I strenuously object.
Strenuously object.
Your Honor, I have been requested outside of chambers. I will be back very shortly. Can I have a continuance for like 10 minutes?
All right, we'll see you soon.
Thank
All
you.
right. So, I can't remember. Did you do your introduction, or did you get interrupted?
I did my introduction.
Okay.
That's how we got to the Parliament.
Okay.
How we got to Parliament.
Oh, good. All right, Zed.
Evening, everyone. BGX Mage here in chat and on Twitter, and I play Zed, our lovable kobold monk who wants to grow up and be a dragon one day.
Excellent.
Speaking of dragons, the party has a dragon. Her name is Valdis. She's a black wormling right now, and she's adorable as all heck.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and as I mentioned before, my main inspiration for that is my cat, because I just figure that a young dragon is probably going to act like a semi-feral house cat, if I had to guess.
It's a pretty solid guess. I mean, it's currently sitting on top of the pile of gold. So,
yep.
Yep. And then the last member of our party It's Baylor.
Who's taking a continuance right now. So with that, I guess what we can do.
I was gonna say is a barbarian warlock who is just a giant 6-year-old child.
You're not
His words, not mine.
Aren't all barbarians just giant 6-year-old childs?
Yep. So, lead on. Let's figure out what's in the treasure. Maybe we'll find some cool things.
Absolutely.
That was our homework last week.
Yep. It looks like 2 people completed the homework.
Oh, I completed the homework and then someone erased my homework.
Wow.
I can redo the homework.
Yeah, go ahead and open up your homework.
One at a time. Let's call it out.
All right.
Do it now.
So it's just you. Okay. I will say this is one of the downsides. Couple of suggestions that you could do if you want. So one of my goals as a game master and just kind of like as a person in general is to keep everything in one location. So I try to keep everything either in D&D Beyond or keep everything in Roll20, or you could keep everything in D&D Beyond. One of the ways you could solve a problem like this would be to create a Google Doc that everyone has access to and can edit, but then you lose the ability to add notes to it as the game master. But I usually have a list of like what the party's loot is. I make that public. I also will give a quest tracker so that they can have that, which I don't think I've updated that in a while. No, I definitely haven't. But I will update that later. So you can allow your players to keep track of that. It really helps. Like Horde of the Dragon Queen, Rise of Tiamat tend to be very linear campaigns, and so as such, they don't really require a whole lot of quest tracking. But if you're playing through something like Rime of the Frost Maiden, or Tomb of Annihilation, where there's a lot of where the campaign starts out as kind of like Sly First talks about this in some of their podcasts. The kind of a yam shape where it starts off narrow, it starts off at the very beginning, and then it widens out and gives you like a sandbox to play in for a little while before it narrows back down into a conclusion. When you're in the thick of that sandbox, having a quest tracker can be very, very helpful. Just so that you as the game master and and you can even have your players. If it's too much prep for you, you can have your players monitor and update the quest tracker or assign one player to do that, so that you don't have so that you don't end up with a situation where you're constantly having to update all of those. And players, I highly suggest and recommend, if you're able and you feel confident and comfortable to help your game master out, they're already handling a lot of things, prepping the adventure, making sure that they have everything ready for it. So if there's anything that you can help take off of their plate, it's always appreciated from a veteran game master to game masters out there. And all of the players out there, help out your game masters. They definitely put a lot into whatever it is that they do, and any small way you're able to help them out is always appreciated. So, just something to consider. Wish list. I'm still only seeing 2 things.
Hey, Brad, you still got the wish list open?
Yeah, I do. One second.
Yeah, when you're finished with it, make sure you save.
No. I was just gonna say you can type mine in. Zed wants a dragon hide belt, either +1 or +2. That's it.
What'd it do?
And want is a very far stretch because monks don't really want anything. So Dragonhide Belt, player just out of character, is a monk exclusive item that was introduced in Fizban's Treasury of Dragons. It adds a +1 or +2 to the DC save for the monk stuff. So my breath weapon, the save for taking damage is increased. as well as once a day, I can earn up to, I think it's half of my martial die back in key points.
Very nice.
And that's it. That's all it does.
Your Honor, I've returned.
Oh, excellent, excellent. We introduced you a moment ago.
Oh, well, hello.
You're a giant 6-year-old.
Nailed it. You forgot. I've got a hammer.
Oh yeah, that's important. We forgot that very important detail.
You know, I can make it disappear.
It's true.
Oh, it's not half the martial die. It is the martial die.
For the Dragonhide belt?
Yep.
Oh, we're getting loot?
Yeah, probably.
Maybe.
Lit.
We'll see.
The Ring of Protection, huh? Oh, I just saw it get updated. What is this? What do you do? Oh, wow, this is cool. Okay.
Yeah, I chose weird ones. I chose ones people don't normally see.
I like that.
Well, minus my last two. My last two are basic.
I only put like 2
items.
things in there, but low key, you're always hoping for like a Holy Avenger or a Sun Sword.
Yeah.
I can't use a Holy Avenger. Never
Probably
mind. I'm
not.
not a paladin.
So there's a couple of different ways to go about loot, and I definitely want to talk about that. Not in a whole lot of detail, but one of the things that I try to do is I try to ask, like, and I've been doing this more and more, like, and this is relatively a new thing, is to ask early on in a campaign, what do you want for your character? What cool things do you want? And then have it in the loot. It is a little metagamey, but it does allow you to help. Like, for example, let's say that we had an entire party of clerics. Most likely, an oath bow isn't going to be super interesting for those characters. Maybe one of them who happens to have a decent dex, or like by that same token, if you had like this party right here, no one is currently playing as a real arcane, as a full arcane caster, sorcerer, wizard, that kind of thing. Granted, Baylor does have levels in warlock, but a robe of the Archmagi would not be really something that's interested in, nor would really a staff of power or something like that. So those items are useless for that particular party. So something you can do is you can ask ahead of time, and you can kind of pepper some of these things in. And obviously, like, I take requests when it comes to loot if there's something that they want. So, like, Ring of Protection and so on and so forth. Like, that should be no problem. So, I will actually also look at the what the treasure that it has in the module and decide whether or not I want to change it or not. And we just kind of go from there. So I will be happy to let you all grab, and you could also, if you want to, it depends on if you want to get really gritty with your game, or if you just want it to just kind of be fun for the players. For me, I would rather it be more fun as opposed to gritty of just like, all right, you find what you find and that's it. That's my approach. Your mileage may vary. So let's take a look at this here. So we've got the ice tunnels here. And I'm actually going to reveal what's supposed to be here, and then probably end up, replacing some of it with some of these wish list items. So the items that are supposed to be here are a frozen potion of some kind, a +1 sword, a +1 longbow, as I mentioned, probably not useful, a +1 leather armor, and bracers of defense. So what I'm going to do, and then there's also like infinite gold, but like they can't carry it because it's all frozen. But let's say that they can have the time to get to some of these items. I'm actually going to replace some of the items with what they've suggested. So I'm going to replace it with one of each of these things for them. So Baylor, you're able to pluck out a ring of protection that you're able to just slip right on your hand.
Hey, let's go.
Yep. Unless you'd rather have a +1 longsword.
Bruh.
You can
Why
also
do you
keep
do
whacking
this?
away at things on your hammer.
Why you do this?
Just throwing it out there.
He did that to you. It's true.
Now I'm really curious.
It's
What is
either
this?
or though, yeah.
Yeah.
Which ones are you curious about, Carrington?
The
Are they
coiling
my weird
grasp
ones?
tattoo.
Oh, I looked that up last week. I was wondering too. That's pretty sweet.
Okay. You hold the needle to your skin where you want the tattoo to appear. Press the needle through, puts it on there. While the tattoo is on your skin, you can, as an action, use the tattoo to exude it into inky tendrils, which reach for a creature you can see. So you can just do this as often as you want, it looks like.
That was my read of it. It's a super powerful thing for me to have. Because, yeah, I'm going to grapple you and bring you within 10 feet of me and let my spirit guardians kill you.
Hello there.
While I'm under sanctuary.
That's also an item
What?
I've never seen used in the game before, which is dope.
Here's one of my questions. Soul coin, what are you doing with it? Or what are you going to do with it?
I don't know. That's up to you.
So it's funny that you mentioned that because, like, I'm also running for a group of clients. I'm running Descent into Avernus, and so like they are just
be really cool. It'd be really cool there.
Yeah, they are flush with them right now. So a soul coin is a coin about, I think it's about this big. It's about this big, and it contains the soul, the bound soul of an evil of an evil sentient being.
Not necessarily evil.
Usually they are, but I guess they could. It contains a soul of some kind of sentient being, and you can use it for currency and Avernus, literally trading souls and whatnot, which is kind of cool. In Avernus, it's a little dark because like you're using souls to like fuel these giant like demon engines that are racing across. It's very Mad Maxian, which has been great for my players running around Avernus as kind of like Mad Maxian heroes.
Well, I was thinking that since Tiamat's in one of the 7 layers of hell, we might run into a devil and it might come into some use.
Yeah.
And I'm metagaming a little, but the giving me that tattoo would make me just ridiculous, Carrington. I mean, that's kind of silly.
I think eventually I'm going to leave it on there, and I'm not sure I'm ready for it yet, but I think Mithril Halfplate is probably fine.
Oh, that would be wonderful. Soul coin was just this would be neat. It doesn't really do much.
We'll leave it there.
I mean,
you don't.
You can give me some temporary hit points if I want to expend it, but no.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, Mithril Halfplate, absolutely fine.
Cool beans.
1 Mithril Halfplate for you. All right, Patron over here. So many things here that you want.
Yeah, I just put my entire wish list up there. You can pick and choose. However, I know which one I would choose first, and it's none of the useful ones.
What is it?
Obviously, it's the dragon vessel. It's in a horde.
Yeah, it's gonna be the dragon vessel.
I do have requests. Remember from last week?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Carrington, question.
I really let me get to your question in just a moment.
Sure.
So here's my thing, okay? What I want from, again, I'm saying this, maybe my words will reach wizards and they'll be like, yes, that's brilliant, I love it, let's do it. I would love for more magical items to follow this kind of template, because it is really great when early on you get a weak item, and then as time it grows into something like this. For example, I'm going to read this off here. So Fizban's Treasury of Dragons. This vessel can be, so it is a potion bottle, a drinking horn, or a container that can hold a liquid. In this case, it happens to be a patron.
I would like it to be a drinking horn carved from either a a literal tooth of a dragon and or claw or horn of a dragon?
Because I love them so much and they're literally my favorite dragon, it's going to be carved from a red dragon horn.
That's so sick.
Yeah, red dragons are my favorite. Chromatic dragons. Golds are my favorite. Metallic. Now, granted, they're both very arrogant. But they just look so cool.
Actually,
huh?
Can I make a request?
What's
I
that?
know reds are your favorite. However, can it be a black because of the added 2 requests I had for the horn specifically?
Sure. What was your request again?
Patron Special Brew.
Oh, to put it in there?
Yeah, and then the second one was that it's sentient.
Oh, yeah. We could do that. So this is what it does. So we were talking a moment ago about, like, items that level up with you. At slumbering, which is what it is right now. It's a slumbering item. As a bonus action, if it's empty, you can speak the command word to fill the vessel with one of the following of your choice: ale, olive oil, potion of healing, potion of climbing. Once this property is used, it can't be used again until the next dawn. So it basically gives them a free potion of healing, or potion of climbing, or ale, or olive oil, which I would say I would allow you to if you wanted to pour this on a 1 5-foot square. You could use it to make it slippery, like grease. Depending upon where it is. If you tried to pour it in here where it's ice, it's not going to make much sense. It's just going to freeze or whatever. But in like a hallway or something, it would be fine. But then it moves to stirring, where in addition to everything else above, you can turn it into a mead, potion of fire breath, or a greater healing potion. When it becomes awakened, it can do everything above, and then also it can create wine, a potion of flying, very powerful, a superior potion of healing, which is really good, and then as it reaches that top tier in the ascendant realm, you can fill it with whiskey, and a supreme potion of healing, or a potion of dragon's majesty. So
I looked up that potion, and that potion.
How do you advance
awesome.
it?
I believe it is at the game master's behest. You could probably undertake quests to do so. I'm actually going to do something very interesting with it, and I will give you the I will give you, just to be fun and also slightly confusing, the command word is Valdis.
Okay.
What you got?
Well, yay. I will put that in my inventory. That was my first item I wanted anyway.
Yep, it's super good. Zed, you have an option. I will give you a choice. Bracers of Defense or Dragonhide Belt?
What kind of Dragonhide belt?
Just the +1.
I'll take that. That's fine.
And I'm going to throw you another thing. Pew, 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 pew. I'm going to also, since there are 3 different kinds of Dragonhide Belt, we're going to start it off at the lowest one and give it the similar thing to what
that's sweet.
The Dragon Vessel, where it will level up eventually too.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
So you notice as Zed is kind of rummaging around trying to find, he's probably going to try to grab a little bit of gold for Valdis because his pockets are her hoard. So he's probably going to try to pick up, just a couple.
You notice that she picks up a sapphire and drops it into his pocket and runs over and grabs a ruby and does the same thing.
Perfect.
She scrapes some of the coppers out of the way and melts some of the ice with the acid and grabs some of the neat things that she thinks that she likes.
Neat. So it's got a sapphire and a ruby. Cool.
Yep.
And finds in amongst the gold, because it blends in very well, the hide of a gold dragon. and that's what makes up the belt. It's a gold dragon's hide.
Okay. Absolutely. All right, so we've done this. You've had a couple. And I mean, we're talking not very long. You have had a few seconds to look around the horde, grab these items. There's tons of other stuff, but you do not have time. This is where we're going to jump right into the adventure. Now that we're an hour into the stream. Aside, huh?
One quick question. Can I make that +1 sword a great sword of vengeance? It doesn't add anything. It's actually a disadvantage, but I think it's good for backstory.
You can't, but there's a reason why we'll get to later.
Okay.
Do you want the Ring of Protection instead?
No, I think I'll take the +1 great sword. I just wanted to add
It's a long sword.
We're good.
It's a long sword.
Oh, okay. Long sword then.
Hey. Psst. Psst.
So.
You should take the Ring of Protection.
I want the Ring of Protection.
All right, cool. Thanks. It also has dragons on it as well.
The Ring of Protection?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Let me see here. I'm just going to look real quick. What are the most powerful rings? That's really strong. That's also really strong. Huh. So Ring of Protection. So it gives you a +1 bonus to your AC.
Yeah.
Very good.
And saves, correct?
No, that's a cloak.
No, just AC.
Oh, that's what I got. Okay.
Oh, wait a minute.
What's up?
Bonus to AC and saving throws while wearing this ring.
Yep, got him.
Let's go.
All right. I'm gonna edit. I'm editing the wish list. I'm in the wish list. And I'm not even deleting anything. I'm just striking through the things that you now have.
Bet.
So if you want to add things to it, feel free. Anytime. All right. So now then, to set the scene, you have a few moments to grab whatever treasure that you want. You grab what you see. It's as if fate's hand guides you itself. You find the things that are most useful to your character, and now you have a limited amount of time because you know that the dragon has warned the entire castle that you are here. It's going to take them some time to rally, to come to the defense, and come to investigate. They're not going to be able to rush down here. They're going to check in with leadership, to try and form search parties, and so on and so forth. But they know where you are, but you don't know if they've seen you or have identified you. So, with that knowledge, what do you want to do?
Do we still have cultist robes?
I don't know, dude.
Just a friendly reminder.
Well, of course, we're wearing them, of course.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. My favorite thing about Zed right now is the fact that like Zed is always in disguise. Like
he's just a kobold.
Exactly guys, we have to go get my wyvern.
Oh no!
Pretty sure Pip let it go.
I'll kill him.
Pretty sure he flew off with it.
I'll kill him dead.
All right, so just so that I'm clear, you Mordok are in cultist robes, yes?
That is correct.
Patron, you are as well.
Yeah, sure.
All right, I'm gonna use this ninja mask as the cultist robes, and currently you're not concentrating on anything, right?
No.
I don't think so.
Shouldn't be. No, this bird would have gone away.
Ah, yes, my favorite thing. To delete birds. Druids are so strong. I want to play one sometime. But I feel like to be nice to the game master, instead of being like, 8 wolves, I would be like, okay, here's 2 things. That's all I want.
Here's 64 snails.
64 snails. 123 earthworms. Snails, interesting, by the way. They have, what is it, over 1,000? I think it's over like 1,000 teeth.
I didn't need to know that.
Terrifying.
Not something that I needed in my brain. Thanks.
No, I am incorrect. Snails have over 14,000 teeth in their mouth.
14,000 didn't make it any better.
Hang on. Other species have up to 20,000 teeth, and they have a little tongue thing that they scrape on the moss to eat it.
Anyway, the cultists were coming.
Yeah.
All right.
Are you stealing my bit now? We're just, instead of dragon facts, we're snail facts.
Snail facts. The only reason I'm sharing that information is because my wife is a huge fan of snails, which is why I know.
How much would it cost a snail to get braces?
How much would it cost a snail?
Yo.
So don't ask me that question because I will calculate it.
Yo.
A lot.
You have to multiply because of the difficulty of putting microscopic wires in, dude.
For sure. All right, so the cultist, Baylor, are you in cultist robes? Do you have cultist robes? I know you're 8 feet tall, but do you have 8 foot tall cultist robes?
I don't. Did we steal 8 foot tall? Here. So, question, Carrington. Do I have cultist robes?
Do you all have a hat of disguise?
I'm asking, does Baylor have cultist robes? Would that be a thing that I would own?
Let me see here real quick. I will let you choose. The answer can be no or yes.
So I think around Baylor's waist has been tied a very dingy, gross belt. And it that's what it's been since he showed up. And he will untie it and then shake it out, and it will just be a dirty cultist robe. And he'll put it on without saying anything.
And as this has become the butt of many jokes, Zed is just a kobold. Clearly he's in costume.
Yep, absolutely.
Snail facts, by the way. Did you know snails are cannibals?
I did not, but that's awesome.
Sorry, I just didn't realize this is how we're going today. I feel like you can't be like snail facts. You have to be like snail facts and make it real slow. Did you put on the cultist thing for Zed?
I sure did.
No, he doesn't need that. He needs something else.
Technically nothing, because I am just myself.
Exactly. See? Perfect.
Did you know that the average speed of a snail is 0.5 to 0.8 inches per second?
Yep. And
so this question, if you won $500 million, but there was always a snail chasing you, and he tried to, if he touched you, you died. Dog.
Very, very plausible.
Dog. I'm flying to any country not connected to the United States, and I'm chilling.
It'll find a way onto an airplane and follow you.
Nah, dog.
This is. Anyways,
I like the solution that someone posited, which was you sign up. First things first is you find the snail, and then you put it into a thing, and then you safety deposit box it somewhere, and then we're done.
Hey, yo.
Do you know land snails do not chew their food; they scrape it.
Yep.
With those 14,000 teeth.
With those
15,000 teeth and make short work of a safety deposit box, I'm thinking.
Maybe. But you could be in that, then you could be in another country. Anyways.
They also breed 430 hatchlings in a year.
The answer is just like in the movie Supernatural, or just in like the TV show Supernatural. You just put a ring of salt around yourself, and you're good to go.
There's the answer.
There it is. Hula hoops of salt.
Anyways, Zed's gonna hop on the back of all this and kind of walk, try to figure our way out of here.
Real quick, as you're in this situation, the cultists are obviously like, the alarm has been raised. You have a limited amount of time. I just want to get everyone's thoughts before we pursue a course of action. Baylor, let's get Baylor's thoughts.
I've got to get my wyvern. Which way are we leaving? I've got to get my wyvern.
That sounds correct, Mordock.
Are we still on the ground?
Yeah, right now.
I'm thinking it'd be a hasty retreat.
But to where?
Outside.
I'm thinking we pull the old Scooby-Doo, they went that way.
So, Patron, you're thinking you try and do the disguise and they went that way?
Of course.
Okay. And Zed, what do you think?
I don't know. I saw a big dragon zoom by. I got Valdis here. And that's good.
Good talk?
Always a good talk with Zed.
Okay.
He's scared out of his mind. Let's be serious.
Yeah. So, are we going to wait for them? Are we going to go to them? What's the plan?
What's up?
Are we waiting for people to come? Are we going to them? What's the plan?
Well, Baylor would like to start making some progress towards getting his wyvern, who he knows is up this cliff, and out one of these doors.
He is all about the wyvern, huh?
Yes.
We are going to say...
what direction is the rest of the group going? Like, are they going the other way, or...
I guess I see Baylor walk that way and go, I guess we gotta go that way.
Well, this way gets us back to the staircase.
That's true.
This way gets us outside. This is unknown.
I walked it last week. It just loops back. It loops around. There's an opening up. There's an opening up here.
I see it.
That loops back to here. That's how Zed got down to the gold.
All right. So,
Baylor is actively making his way towards this staircase down here, I believe.
Okay.
I am going to
take the
say,
easy way.
just so that you know, that that Pip and the Wyvern are gone at this time.
Don't you do this to me.
He's protecting the Wyvern.
Don't you do this.
I think it's
Carrington!
Great. I think it's great for the story.
Yeah, it'll be fine. He's protecting the Wyvern. This is an important moment. So there.
So Zed and Valdis, which I need control over Valdis movement wise.
I thought you had control over Valdis movement wise.
Nope,
I
can't
object.
click her.
Did you say you object?
I do.
Okay. Noted.
Okay.
Oh, really? I can do that. Oops. Cancel that. Give me just a moment here. Edit. There's that. There you go.
I won't be riding Valdus. Valdus is very weak.
Yep. Volts is pretty beat up. Very cold. All right, so you get to here. This is a good spot where we can have some people show up. So you can hear coming from above you that there's a whole bunch of people trying to. I'm gonna move this down. You can hear that there are a bunch of people who are trying to come down the stairs, who are coming down the stairs.
I wouldn't be raged at this point. Yeah, I would have dropped that.
Yep, that's correct.
Okay. Just checking.
Valdus, I'm going to need you to go into this tunnel and stay put. And he points to this area over here.
Valdus acquiesces. Also, I'm going to show everyone the castle so that everyone can see it again. There's the castle.
Still don't understand this drawing.
See that little yellow thing in the middle? That's
Yep.
the treasure.
Yep, but the map has all tunnels lead back to the treasure, and the picture here shows that we have other options.
So this is the picture of the castle. That's what I've got for you.
I want these tunnels that lead out. Do they lead out to where I could take a path and be on the outside of the castle, leading up all these staircases and whatnot?
Let me see here. That goes down. Right? That goes up. That goes down. There is a hole in the ceiling of the main vault, which is where y'all were. Just a thought.
Well, I'm not
that's pretty much
Hester.
non-helpful.
Yeah, I'm not Hester. I can't hand everyone flying potions.
And just zip out of there.
Hold. How high up?
Let me see here. It's 30 feet down there, but how far up is this? No idea. Weird. Yeah, it doesn't. It says it shows it that it's there, and then literally doesn't describe it ever again. Shrug.
Shrug. It's as if these stairs are the only point of. My point is the picture shows more routes out of here, but it feels like it's just the staircase.
I think I agree with you.
Which is where I was out of character frustrated.
Sure. No, I understand. Let me move these people closer together and move them down the stairs. It's a bunch of them.
Who's our face?
Baylor.
Oh God, no.
Yeah.
Oh great.
You throw Zed in front, and he owes lots of people charisma, not just one person.
We're still under some. You still have one of Patron's spells up that lasted forever, or was that? Drop that.
Which spell?
That was the ability.
One that gave us. One that gave us
pseudo bless.
Yeah.
What am I rolling again?
I think that only lasted for 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's over by now. I'm gonna drop these guys in here, and we're gonna see.
Yeah, it says 10 minutes.
Okay.
Do I know that this is the only entrance to the cave?
Only one that we know of.
So there's not like another entrance that I could say they're going to?
We know how to get out.
It does say that this area is also the lower courtyard over here, so I think this is also the lower courtyard. The map is very confusing, I'm not going to lie.
I will hold my hand out for the banner without saying that's what I'm looking for, and I'll just like wave my hand behind me like I'm expecting somebody to put something in it.
You could get almost anything.
Yeah, I'm kind of banking on it. I'm going with the role play here. Going with the role play.
Put a boat in his hand.
A boat?
Even a boat.
Right. So we come from.
I'm gonna give him a snail.
So I'll pull it in front of me as I start talking, and I'll say, "Right, we're coming from." And then I'll just turn back to the group and be like, "Gentlemen, the banner, please." And I'll look over at the guy that's standing right next to me and be like, "Good help's hard to come by nowadays."
All right, roll me just a straight charisma roll.
Not deception.
Yeah, deception's fine.
Let's go.
That was awesome.
Oh no, we're using the one on the right, right?
I am going to give you the one on the right.
Let's go.
Do you know why?
Because he's in cultist robes?
Yep.
Let's go.
Did you also notice I put the little, because you said they're all dirty, I put the little squigglies.
Yeah, I don't know that you had to do that, but thank you.
The little bacon strips.
Bacon.
And I need to roll a d4, right?
Yeah, apparently. Or I'll roll for you. Boop. I did it.
I don't like that roll, Harrington.
You're
24.
welcome.
What do you want?
Yeah, Mordok literally hit the win more button and like how much more you want to win? Like I just told you won the lottery and you want another spin.
So that I rolled my deception check. What is he gonna respond to? Good help is hard to come by.
He points at the kobold and says, "I understand."
He points at Zed and says, "I understand."
Yes.
Thank you, Carrington, so much. I'm going to lean over to him and go, "This one right here's been arguing with me all day about my wyvern. Like, come on, right?"
And the dragon looks at you and says, "The last one that tried to argue with me, I just threw it off the castle."
Don't get any ideas.
I'll just use
well, he is awful useful. I'll give him one more shot. Anyway, you gentlemen are probably looking for the people breaking in, yeah?
We've been sent down here to investigate. Where did you come from?
Well,
Deception.
I haven't even said anything.
Let's see how you roll deception and then role play it.
We came from the right. No, left.
I rolled a 19 for deception.
Okay.
And a D4.
Oh.
Guidance, baby.
21, sir.
You know you can click on the little the pink number here, and it'll actually roll the die for you.
What are you talking about?
The pink number under guidance, it'll actually roll it.
Oh, yeah. No, I didn't know that.
Bam! We learned stuff.
Right. Well, admittedly, the little kobold's the guy showing me how to get around here. I was sent here on missions, and they got me lost. So, if you could kindly point me in the way that is not here, and like on the way to the exit, we've got to get to the mainland before this thing ships off. I would greatly appreciate it, and I don't have to fire this one here.
Well, I will say, Rezmir was in an awful hurry. We've already shipped off. Can barely feel it when the castle moves.
Right.
As soon as Rezmir's orders, as soon as the alarm was drawn, she went and talked to the giant. Drawbridge is up, and we're in the sky.
Right.
Have you seen
Fine.
the intruders?
No. Like I said, we were lost. It was just turned all around. Right. Do you happen to know of how I can get back to the mainland before we get too far away? Like, I'm trying to go home. The wife's gonna be real mad.
He says, "Oh, I think it's gonna be too late. It looks like you're gonna miss your supper."
Right. Well, gentlemen, if you want to proceed on, I will go see if I can fix this situation.
All right, one more deception check. Okay.
Take your pick. Could even be a boat.
Either a 21 or a 21.
Thanks for the update. I appreciate that.
Yeah, just figured I'd help you out.
All right. So it looks like everyone's going back up, right? Are you going to have Valdis continue to hide here or no?
No, we're gonna act like she's a guard drake and take her with us.
Okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm going to imagine for her, oh, hang on a second. I got something here. So she has a couple of saddlebags that someone purchased for her that help her look like a guard drake. And so, I'm not sure if you can see this.
Are they just full of gold?
Please
Probably,
God,
yeah.
no. Please God.
Well, what I did was I put the little ninja on Valdis too. So Valdis is also in disguise. All right, cool. Everyone's ninja'd. All right.
Ninja on out of there.
Except for Zed, because Zed's just a kobold.
Okay, Eeyore.
Holy moly.
All right,
Holy
hang on.
guacamole.
Hang on, I've got to delete everyone real quick. Hey, look, it's the wyvern. It's gone now.
Where?
These guys could get deleted.
No, I'm not deleting them. They're just elsewhere. All right.
No, for real though, you could delete them. I'd be okay with that.
Deleting them would be just fine.
All right. So that's what's going on. Where would you like to go next? They pass by you. They're all checking out the treasure and all that stuff, and looking around and investigating. And you get the feeling that like eventually, while you were able to like kind of quickly smooth talk and which is great for Baylor, that you need to get moving because eventually you're going to put 2 and 2 together and come up with 7.
Well, they can't count very well.
Can I pop back over here to the giant door?
Mm-hmm.
Are they still like being all weird and stuff?
Are they being all weird and stuff? I mean, they are much more on guard now because the alarm's been raised. But I will let you know this too. This spiral staircase also goes further up to the top.
Oh, well, why don't we do that?
Does that help us though?
Castle's in the sky. We might as well figure out where the controls are.
Sure.
Sorry about that. Had a rogue sneeze all of a sudden.
I guess we keep going up.
All right, up we go. And on to the next one. All right, let me set the scene for us here. So tall So this upper courtyard is the primary landing site for like flying creatures and things like that. There are right in this courtyard. There are in fact a whole bunch of people doing things. Well, maybe not people, and maybe not doing things, but there are a bunch of ogres practicing their javelin throwing right here. And it is there are tall, slender towers and walls of ice that enclose this windswept courtyard. The ogres step forward. They are clearly on guard. Like they are ready to attack. They ready their javelins at you. What do you do?
We're dressed in cultist uniforms, are we not?
You are.
Am I taking this one or is somebody else taking this?
Well, I might not owe anyone any charisma, but I'm not Grady with you talking.
Do you have you still have the banner?
Somebody has it. I don't have it.
I believe
Of course we have a
Mordok
banner.
has it.
Yeah.
I'll get on the banner.
What do you do, Mordok?
I'm eating a cracker, so hold on a second.
Very nice.
Unless you want to
How
hear
could
me crunching it.
How could you eat it in a time like this,
Wait,
Mordok?
hang on. This is very important. 10 minutes into sandwiches in chat.
I mean, I just got this mental image of him with like something in his mouth, like, oh.
How could you eat in a time like this?
I don't have 10 minutes in a sandwich. I got a minute and a cracker. Well, I see the ogres are getting ready to like throw javelins at all cultists. Is that what's going on here?
Yeah, it looks like they're ready to fight you. They look. What do you do?
I clear my throat from the little bit of cracker that's left out. It's like, whoa, hold on, guys. We're with you. I gave the banner. It's like, don't be throwing that stuff at us.
Make me a persuasion check. Do you owe some charisma?
Can I offer the help action?
I'm gonna give him advantage. He's got the
Also,
banner.
is this place dark? This is my one constant problem. This is a courtyard open to the air,
Mm-hmm.
open to the sky. Okay, so why can I only see a very small amount around me? Can a man get some light?
It's like a
No.
sky deck.
How's that?
Oh, terrifying! Put it back.
All right, so a 15.
That's correct.
I would like to point out that you said those words. So here we are.
Now, wait a minute.
What?
That sounds mighty like it precedes you being very disrespectful to us.
Not true. They look over. Okay. And they go back to their javelin targeting practice. The DC I put on there was 15.
Let's go.
Thinking this way?
Right.
Going in here.
Sure.
Pick a door, any door.
How about the middle one?
There's 4 of them.
Yep.
Obviously the middle door. Baylor's already in there.
Baylor, pew, goes right in.
Mm-hmm. What do I see?
That's a great question. Stuff.
Things.
Yep. There are these are guest chambers. They're designed for giant-sized guests and have furnishings of the appropriate size. So they're very big.
We could all take a nap on the bed.
You could, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds mad risky.
Do you want to like take a short rest? Spend some of those sweet hit dice.
Who really needs a short rest?
The
I
world.
mean, I could use a sandwich. I'm 34 of 52 hit points.
Oh, I mean, I'm 56 of 69, but I have used one spell slot, so like I could use that spell slot back.
You get diddly on a short rest, but I can't spend some hit dice, so.
Risk it for a biscuit?
Yep. It's the worst that can happen.
Risky biscuits.
Risky biscuits.
The courtyard for ogres can come chuck spears at us?
That's
Yeah,
true.
I'm about it. I'm about
Yeah,
it.
well, they can't exactly get through the door in mass, so we're okay there.
I'll poke one at a time with a stick until they all stop wanting to be poked with sticks. So are we taking a short rest?
Yeah, I think so.
No.
Do we accomplish a short rest?
So 10 minutes into the short rest, you're feeling pretty comfy. And then at the end of the hour, you complete it.
Homie,
What's up?
I don't like it here.
You're welcome. That was just for you. All right. Oop.
Boy,
So
what I got?
So since we're you can keep rolling dice. You can roll as many dice as you want when you take a short rest. You can actually roll your dice one at a time. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, you can continue. You can just roll until you're satisfied. There's a location in Rime of the Frost Maiden that's brutal when you take a short rest. You don't get to roll your die. You just get your con modifier. One of our characters literally had a 0 con and was just like, I can't heal. It was just like, neat. And that was that. All right. So while we'll go back to camera full. So while the party takes a short rest, let's go ahead and do the same. We're going to take a quick 10-minute break, and then we will come back and continue, and we will see how far we get in this. I would imagine for Hoard of the Dragon Queen and for the Castle in the Clouds, we would probably have 2 more sessions if I had to guess, and then we will jump into the Rise of Tiamat, and we'll go from there. So we'll see everyone back in 10 minutes. Don't go away. Hello everyone, Carrington here from Open Heart Games, and we are back with our playthrough of Tyranny of Dragons, one of the first modules out for D&D 5e, and I am joined here by our wonderful cast of characters, and we'll go ahead and, I guess, run down the list real quick, and just give us a quick who you are, and we'll jump right back in. Starting with Baylor.
Hey everybody, my name's Jabrilopad in chat, and I'm piloting Baylor, who just had his wyvern taken away from him,
That never happened.
and is kinda upset about it.
This is where I play. This is where I use the evil emote. Anyways, and Mordok, is Mordok back?
No, I'm not here.
Oh, okay.
I'm Mordok playing Azamir Protector Cleric, and wyverns come and go. So that's just the way they are.
Arpulus says Grand Theft Wyvern. Arpulus, feel free. You're a subscriber. You can use the new cool emotes that we have in chat. We just had them requisitioned, so knock yourself out. And Patron.
Hello, everyone. I'm Brad, also known as Hitohari in chat, and I will be playing Patron Purpleheart this evening.
Excellent. And of course, last but certainly not least, but perhaps the smallest, Zed.
The smallest, the cutest, the bestest. I'm BGX Mage in chat and on Twitter. I play the lovable Kobold Zed, and one day he wants to grow up and be a dragon.
Absolutely. All right. So let's head back to our colorful cast of characters here. Yes, my personal favorite is the 10 minutes in a sandwich, which has become a kind of a meme here on the stream, of needing 10 minutes in a sandwich to take any sort of rest. So with that, our players have now taken a short rest, and now they can leave. So there we are. I went ahead and uncovered some of the map because that's important that you be able to see what's going on here.
Okay.
So where do we want to go next, and what do we want to do?
Well, I don't know. I don't like that I'm in charge all of a sudden.
Suddenly Baylor's in charge. It reminds me of that scene in Firefly where he's just like, whoa, do you want to be the captain? Do you want to be in charge? Yeah. Well, you can't.
Sorry,
Anyways.
I'm eating cereal. I can't do nothing, so you are in charge.
Crunch, 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 crunch. All right.
I guess I'll poke my head out the door.
Yep.
What do I see?
So there's a tower over here.
Over where?
Yep, on the wrong layer again. Right here. Tower.
Okay.
This is a tower of pale blue ice. It's the color of the sky on a winter day, and its few windows shimmer like mirrored glass or crystal. There's also a crumbling tower. This ancient tower seems to be crumbling. The windows have been sealed shut with ice. Cracks have formed in the walls and the roof cap. A balcony of sculpted ice hugs on one side of the tower at 75 feet above the tower base.
Ominous tower in disrepair on an otherwise spotless flying castle.
Seems to be.
It seems fine.
Yeah. Def not sus.
No. Zero sus around here. So are the ogres still like mad chill over there just hanging out?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yep.
I will casually, very casually, make my way this way.
Okay. There also appears to be a cavern tunnel over here, which probably leads down somehow to get to the thing. There you go.
Sweet. Yep. Sweet. Does the group follow?
I'm gonna
Sorry,
go.
where
Maybe.
are we going?
Looks like we're going over here. I'll help you. All right, calculate the hypotenuse.
Like, what's going on here?
Did I do that in this game where I calculated the hypotenuse of something? Or was that in a different game?
I don't know.
Oh, I did that recently where someone was just like, well, how far up is he? And how far away is my spell? And I calculated and I was like, all right.
A squared plus B squared equals C squared, my friend.
Yep. So
It was in Frost Maiden, and I calculated it.
Oh, did you?
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
I will keep, I suppose. Guys, what are we doing here?
I guess we're trying to find. What are we doing here? Y'all made a deal while I was gone.
I'm 6, dude. I'm going on instinct here.
So the goal was to find a way to stop the cult of the dragon from using this castle. So you've driven off the dragon. That's important.
Kill Rezmir.
Right.
Excellent. Where's
Yeah,
Rezmir?
Rezmir needs to go.
That's what we're looking for.
Yep.
So I'm a bet wherever the steering is for this.
There's also, over in this area, there seems to be a big tower.
So there's this decrepit tower near us, and then there's a big tower.
Decrepit tower, big tower. Yep.
I say we head for the big tower.
All right.
Yeah. We're going to actually call it the Crumbling Tower. That's what this one is, right here.
That's what this one is?
Yep. Crumbling Tower, Blue Tower, Big Tower.
Okay.
I don't know whether to make a Dr. Seuss rhyme or to say a
One
different
tower,
thing
two
that I
tower,
can't
red
say.
tower, blue tower. Crumbling tower,
Sure.
blue tower.
We're gonna we're gonna make our way over this way, and unless you need us to move square by square, I'm just gonna like Batman cutscene over here.
That's fine. Hey, look, I'm helping too.
Hey, I was enjoying clicking my D-pad.
All right. So big tower right here. It's a 70-foot tall tower. It has a parapet on the roof. There are two doors at the ground level, and no windows. The interior seems to be split into multiple levels.
Sure, let's go.
Carrington, can I hold an action as we enter this tower?
Sure.
I would like to hold Armor of Agathis for if anything seems like it's going left. I.e., we look like we're about to get in a fight.
So when it comes to holding spells, if you don't use it by the next round, you'll lose the spell. Them's the rules.
And a round is only a couple seconds.
So I wouldn't do it.
Never mind.
All right. Arpula says, I guess in a world where diagonal squares and orthogonal squares all count the same 5 feet, trigonometry kind of goes out the window. This is true. All right.
Yay for math.
Absolutely. There is a so these are we opening the door? There's a silver chime that hangs are we opening the door?
Yes, I opened the door.
Never mind.
Silver chime
off.
chimes, alerting the people inside.
That's
No.
exciting.
What was that?
That's exciting.
Not ominous at all.
Inside, this is the top. There's a ballista apparently. There are in fact on this first level, there are.
So,
Excuse me, it's a
it's
gift
a
eater.
Gift Eater 2000.
We don't know the model number. We just
That's
know
true.
that it's a gift eater.
It's definitely a
What?
Gift Eater.
It's a gift eater. It's not a ballista.
Oh, a gift eater. Yeah.
You would have had to play Curse of Strahd with us.
He puts his hands he puts his face in his hands and rubs his temples. All right. Anyways, we'll go more into that in a minute.
They have the gift eater 3001 model.
They in fact do.
On putrid.
So there are in fact 4 of these ogre guys.
Are there stairs going up?
So there are in fact stairs that go up to the next level, which I have a different map for, but we'll get there. So there's a staircase that hugs the interior wall of this chamber, leading up to a landing with a door. The room itself contains sturdy wooden carved furnishings of giant proportions. There are also table and chairs in this area, and then also there are 4 ogres that are on this. They wear fancy plumed helmets, and to signify some importance, and they all look at you with their javelins. What do you do? Hey, what are you doing in here?
Gentlemen, we were sent as relief.
Deception?
Can I have advantage because we're wearing robes?
In this instance, you cannot. But there's your guidance.
13.
Relief. I don't get it. What do you mean?
Well,
I'll roll 2. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What do you mean? Relief.
Well, we come and we take over the post so you can go eat.
One of them looks the
And
other
then
way
when
and
you
goes,
finish eating, you come back.
make me another deception check.
Yeah, sure.
Guidance. 20.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we get breaks now? Oh, being in a part of the honor guard is great. Alright, well, you tell Blagokthus that we took our lunch, and when you tell him thank you for us.
I sure will.
Oh, that Blagokthus, he's quite swell. Oh yeah, he's the best. And away they go.
You guys believe that worked?
I can't believe they sound just like you.
Listen here, I'm not done with you. And I'll walk in. Now,
Are we going to the next level?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I'm going to need this. So one of the things that I want to talk about as a game master. So sometimes the maps that are provided to you are just inadequate. So sometimes you have to get creative and do something else. So I'm going to make this the room now.
Wait a minute. This isn't round.
Don't worry about it. It's non-Euclidean geometry.
Time Lord stuff.
Yep, wibbly wobbly stuff.
Wibbly wobbly timey wimey.
Yep,
Oh,
wibbly
it's
wobbly.
bigger on the inside.
Yep, yeah, sure, why not? It's magic. Why not? We'll do what we want. All right, so there's
Imagination.
Yep.
Come with me.
I believe that so this guy is a this is fun. This guy is a cloud giant. Which, if you've watched our charity streams, Jabril, you referred to one of these as what, the Sammy Hagar of giants.
Something along those lines, yeah. Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, that was so good. What even is a cloud giant?
Yeah, I'm just an absolute coolest dude, man.
Well, this guy is a little bit less cool, and just a hair more on the terrifying side.
This guy shows up to the high school in a Trans Am, blaring Black Snake, and like just absolutely cooling
Yep.
as he gets out of the car and flicks his obviously massive cigarette and shoots the finger guns at your girl. That's what this guy does.
This guy right here.
Yes.
Yep. This is the guy that's still wearing his Letterman jacket like 5 years after high school.
100%, except he's still absolutely ripped, just like super jacked.
All right. Fun. All right, so that's what this guy looks like. So.
Hey, yo, Zed, that guy's name kind of looks like a chicken clucking.
Blagakthus.
Blagakthus?
Zed's in here. What am I gonna name this guy?
It just comes to me, okay?
For sure. All right.
I have to hear his name first in order to figure out what his name actually sounds like.
Am I gonna have to assemble a parliament for this?
Possibly. We'll have to see.
Hey, yo, Carrington.
Yeah.
As a part giant myself, would I know us to be a very wise group of people?
I'll let you roll history for it.
Bet. I've got a -1 in history. Let's go, baby.
As it turns out.
This one, so cloud giants happen to be
Thank you, Mordok.
rather wise. They are pretty high up on the tier list, as it were, for the ordning. So it's storm giants, cloud giants, fire giants, frost giants, stone giants, and then at the very bottom are hill giants.
Hey. Wait, no. I'm descending a stone giant, yeah?
Yeah, most likely.
Okay. Not the bottom of the barrel then. We're good.
Yeah. The hill giant cousins are not known for their great wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Or intelligence.
Sweet. Right.
Yep, absolutely. So, in this, you see, as you walk into this room, that there is a, So the walls of this room are sculpted with icy murals depicting cloud giants riding giant birds. An enormous bed with a headboard of ice sculpted to resemble clouds dominates the room. Bear furs are heaped upon the bed. In this case, we're just going to change this a little bit and say that there's a massive crystal in the middle. There's a bed behind him. And also, there's a large wooden chest that is sitting behind him as well. At this time, he is sitting on the staircase with his arms or with his legs crossed, and the two ogres next to him are combing his hair. And there is a hulking morning star that leans next to him.
If anybody else wanted to take over,
He says, Rezmir. He has his back facing you, by the way. He says, I have already done as you requested. I have moved the castle. What more do you want from me now? It would be unwise to incur my wrath.
Rezmir wishes for us to turn around.
Why? Why the sudden change in plans and change in heart? Go ahead and actually, you know what? Yeah, let's do it. Roll me a deception check.
Can I give them advantage somehow?
I'm gonna give myself guidance.
Ooh,
Oh,
that's a 7. That's an 11.
7-11.
It's a 10? Math?
Math.
Oh, sorry, 7-11. Yes, that's a 10. That's how that works. Sorry, I was looking at my things.
hey Zed.
What? Yeah.
You just took an extra point away that might have been helpful. It wasn't helpful. Never mind.
It was worth a shot.
Yep, he says. He brushes away his 2 ogre attendants and he says, Rezmir has never needed. As soon as the castle is left for the security of her purposes, she has never erred or changed her mind. Why the sudden change of heart? And who are you? Speak only the truth. I will not suffer further lies.
Alright, fair enough.
I will see right through any fabrications you construct.
Well, at this point, speak only truth, right? Right? I just let my hood down and be like, Rezmir is not to be trusted.
He crosses his arms. And why, small dwarf, is that?
Rezmir will betray you at the first opportunity. Her hoard that she has been gathering has a nefarious purpose, and I do not believe it will be in your best interests.
What purpose do you believe she has?
Can I
What
insight check this guy?
Sure.
I know the outer player information. I'm just trying to remember what we actually know already from what we have gathered of this story.
I'm trying to figure out if he knows by that question, if he knows what they're up to.
You can gain from him that it seems that this Blagothus, yes, Blagothus, he seems to know more than he is letting on, and that he does not seem like he is an enthusiastic supporter of the cult's activities. But he seems to have some reason for continuing to do so, otherwise he wouldn't do it.
Is that information with an intelligence, bearing in mind that I'm very stupid, with an intelligence of 8, that you would grant me the ability to use in a conversation right now?
I mean, 8 is technically like average intelligence.
Okay.
Actually, 10 is about average intelligence. Well, I don't know, actually. Hang on a second.
Pretty sure it's 8 is average.
That's enough, buddy.
Like 10 is above average, and anything above that is.
I think it's. So I'm gonna go with this. I looked up the stats for a commoner. Commoners are 10 across the board, so I think that's average. So you're just below average.
You're thick. You're not dumb.
2 C's.
I guess with that, then all I will say is, in Giant, of course, you don't seem too thrilled about helping old Cyanrath out. Rezmir. Yeah, I said Rezmir. I didn't mean Cyanrath.
No. It's even better that Baylor says that, and then Zed corrects him. It's canon now. It just happened. So he says, I am hoping that the rise of the cult of the dragon will stir my fellow giants from their complacency into action, so that the giants, have grown soft, weak, fat, stupid. They have become exceedingly rare. We were once great kings of this land. We ruled from castles in the sky. And we dominated.
Yeah,
So
all right, guys, I'm with him. I'm totally kidding.
The return of some dragons would be good for giant kind.
Right, mate, but you know that it's not like the return of some dragons. It's the return of the dragon, and like you're wicked cool and all, and like
I
super
have
strong.
no conflict with the small folk such as yourself. And the castle is transporting a vast amount of treasure to the Well of Dragons, where the cult is beginning to gather its forces and amassing an unprecedented hoard for the anticipation of Tiamat's return.
You're like cool with that.
If the return of Tiamat spurs my fellow giant kin into action, into great glorious combat that will shake this realm like a Ragnarok and wash across the world like a wave that will cleanse us of our boredom and the resting upon ancient laurels while the crumbling of our entire civilization continues, then it is a price that I would pay.
If anybody else wanted to chime in, I'm cool with that.
Are you still talking to him in Giant? Because I don't know that.
Did he respond in common or giant?
He speaks common.
Okay, so then after he didn't respond in giant, rudely, might I add,
I'll say that he did respond to you in giant.
So I'll turn around to I'll be like, all right, give me like 2 seconds, please. And I'll turn around to the group and I'll be like, yo, homie is mad with the cult right now. He's on about like bringing back the glory of the giants and a little fight with some dragons to make everybody happy again, and like he's super on their side.
You know I can hear you, and I'm not on their side.
Well, what do you mean then?
I just want to stir my fellow giants out of their complacency and into action so that we might fight and be strong again.
Yeah. But you know, like Tiamat will unceremoniously, that's my big word for the day, Zed, write it down, unceremoniously ruin every single giant. Right, you know, like this isn't like our friend Valdis here. Valdis is a reasonable dragon. Tiamat is not a reasonable dragon. Tiamat is as big as your castle.
Valdis, Valdis like cocks her head when you talk about her, and then just like looks up at the giant and is just like, "That's really big, and I don't want to fight it." And I have 5 health.
Like, all I'm saying is, if you want to find a way to get the giants to come out and fight things again, Tiamat's not the way to do it. They're gonna dig holes and go back into their mountains, and you're gonna be on a flying castle, still looking like, quite honestly, you're pretty cool, sir. So you'll just be up here by yourself, all mad and probably really poor. So, like, can we land this thing and agree that we don't want to have Tiamat here, and like we can all get together and come up with a way to get the giants stirred back into action.
Roll me persuasion.
Let's go.
With advantage, only because you're talking to him in giant, and he's feeling particularly stirred by your words.
Let's go.
21. Hold on.
Where's that guidance at?
Get that D4, baby.
Yeah!
22.
Hit that win more button.
He says, I find that my castle is suddenly filled with unwelcomed guests.
Right, and might I add, you kicked them off. You're mighty rich right now.
He picks up his morning star and he shoulders it, and he says, I would ask for your assistance, heroes, in showing these unwelcome guests the door. Then we might give you a share of the spoils of this treasure.
Patrick will look around and be like, by door, do we mean the sky?
The moon door, duh.
I have not known these cultists to be particularly adept at flying. Another weakness that they share with some of our less magically inclined kin.
Right. So, first question. You know, there's like a big white dragon in your like the ground under your castle, right?
What?
Well, there was. We beat
yeah,
him up.
correct. We kind of ran him off.
I'm kidding. I invited him.
Oh, my bad. We totally didn't run him off.
No, I want him to go away. He's part of the cult.
Okay, then we ran him off. Also, second thing, I'm all for it, and I will rage, like super rage
For no reason.
Well, we're going to fight stuff, aren't we?
Yeah, like not right this moment, but sure.
You're gonna lose it.
Okay, I will start to rage, and somebody will be like, "No, save it," and I'll be like, "Oh, right, sorry." Got a little excited there. All right.
And with so he is what was that? Someone said something?
It's just Zed's quietly trying to whisper up to the group, up to Baylor. Can you tell us where Rezmir might be at?
Would I be able to hear him all the way back there and whispering?
Yeah, why not?
Right. I've been told to ask you, where's Rezmir? We can handle Rezmir.
Where's Rachel? Sorry.
Where is she?
We have a very particular set of skills.
Yep. Yep. Rails gone.
I love how we just stack movie references.
Absolutely. I will tell you where her residence is, and you will remove the unceremoniously from my castle. You will remove this cult and every trace of its corruption.
Right. Are the ogres with you?
Yes, of course.
So we don't need to kick them off.
You notice that the two ogres that are with him have these like even bigger fancy plumed hats.
Right. Well, we may have given the guys outside a little bitty break. Told them to go get some lunch and come back. They're super appreciative of you, and you'll probably get a little bit more loyalty out of them. But yeah, we'll go get a couple of them, and we'll kick these people right off of your house, and we'll come back and talk to you.
Still need to know where Rezmir is.
Yeah, right. Rezmir.
Why are you so quiet? Am I quiet? Or was Patrick quiet? Thank you, Slightly Viking.
I was literally whispering in the microphone, so.
All right. He will reveal to you. You guys are barely audible, says Slightly Viking.
No.
Not again. Is that better?
Testing.
I was-
1, 2, 3.
I just pulled up the audio stream and it's fine on my end.
Maybe adjust Slightly Viking. Maybe adjust your audio. Just came from another stream at normal volume. You were almost silent. Oh, okay. We'll pull up the stuff here. How's that? Okay, our fuel says you can hear us. Okay.
Yeah, I figured.
All right.
Maybe just you then. All right. So the also we have new emotes. Check them out. Stream does tend to be quieter than the others, but it's okay. Well, here we are. I did turn it up a little bit, but let me know if that's not too loud. Anyways, so we have Blogoclus here is going to reveal to you where Rezmir is in the castle, which is. I'm gonna go back to this area.
In the old creepy crumbling one.
Nope, not in the old crumbling one. Which is actually, I think we may have to delete these tokens too because you all healed, and I'll grab those tokens from here. All right, pardon me. And here we are, one group of people. So Rezmir is actually in this room right here.
Where is the door to that room? Is it in the hallway here?
Maybe, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it only makes sense that I would have to go check that. Apologies.
No worries.
Does anybody else want to take a turn being in charge around here?
This is too much responsibility. I'm out.
So far, you're doing so good.
Okay. Very well. I will. First thing I want to do is make sure that my group is with me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would like to ever so slowly open this door.
Ever so slowly, you said?
Yeah, just like so I don't like spring it open into 55 people standing there ready to try to kill me. I'm trying to get it open just enough to take a peek. Interesting.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad I was muted for my guttural response to Slightly Viking because it made me. It reminded me of the charity stream.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yep, that was great.
That one.
Great moment. That's the one. That's the one.
So good.
We got hearts from Slightly Viking. It's funny because they just found a cloud giant, Slightly Viking, and the Sammy Hagar reference was made once again. So there we are. All right, so there do appear to be some people here.
Gentlemen, can I have the banner, please?
Have it? Or does Mordock still have it?
I think Mordock has it.
Actually, I thought you took it from him.
Hey, you took it from me.
No, you guys gave me a boat and a snail.
Yeah, but then you actually took the banner.
Yeah, no, I did I? Do I
Yes.
have the banner?
No, Mordock has it.
Oh, Valdis
Okay.
took a short rest and is now full hit points.
Let's go, Valdis. Do you, Boothang? Do you?
Good girl. No, Mordock has it because Mordock was the one that talked to the ogres.
All right. Listen.
Okay.
Here's what's happening. Okay, here we go. Here's the flag. The flag is the banner. Mordock has the banner.
Okay, I have the banner.
Mordock, can I have the banner, please?
Sure. Now you have the banner. I don't want it anymore.
Good talk. Let me remove this banner and put it over here.
All right, gentlemen. I've been on a roll today. Follow my lead. And I will hoof the door open. Hopefully with like seemingly inadvertently hitting this guy that's like right behind the door here.
Okay.
And then with my head held high, I will stomp through the door a couple of paces to get right here. Gentlemen, you're relieved. With the banner thrown across my shoulder like a Miss America pageant.
Roll me persuasion at disadvantage.
At disadvantage?
Sounds so certain. With guidance.
Oh, good.
Disadvantage?
Disadvantage.
Might I lobby for at most a flat roll?
Because
We're still disguised.
I'm still disguised as a cultist. I have the banner of
I
what's her name.
will give you a flat roll.
Sweet. Not sweet. Critical failure. Oh no.
Bar block and doing deception.
Oh, yeah.
What'd you say?
Slightly Viking said bar block doing deception.
Yes.
All right. Let's.
Oh wait, hold on. I have guidance. 7.
It's still a nat 1. I don't.
It is still in that one. You hear that's when you see he puts up his hand, and then he knocks against the door, and he says, "Lady Rezmir, we found them," and we'll roll initiative.
Right before he says you found them, can I have like a reaction or no?
No reaction. Only initiative.
That's fine. 15.
All right, and there's that. Oh shoot, hang on. I keep your initiative numbers. I just realized that. Well, it should automatically change everything, right? No, it just adds more initiatives. I'm just gonna clear everything. Sorry. Remember what you're. There you go. Go ahead and re-roll and change your numbers. Sorry, that was entirely my bad.
Yeah, I wish I could keep that 19. Hey, yo, do the thing, please. 1-5, enter.
Alright, and let's see. Patrons, Baylor, Mordok, and I gotta roll for Valdis. You can also roll for Valdis because you have control over her character sheet. If you want to, moving forward.
I just want to control her movement. I don't want to control her.
Okay. Patron, you hear that. What do you do?
Emboldening Bond.
Okay.
And I will do it to Zed, Mordok, and myself because our homeboy has Reckless.
Alright, so I think, just real quick, just for simplicity, I'm gonna drop the banner and the disguises because now you're known.
Jig is up.
The jig is up, as they say. But you said you're putting the emboldening bond, right?
Correct. And then I think I will actually. This is a fight with Rezmir, right? Yeah.
I'm gonna use this as the emboldening bond, the little heart with the chain kind of thing going on. I think that's cool. And you said Mordok's getting it too?
Correct.
It's just the three of you though?
Yes, I can only do it to 3 right now.
Okay. And did you link it in the chat?
I did not. Hold on.
React to the reaction? Oh, you silly. It says slightly Viking. You can't triple
Hey,
stamp
if you don't ask, you don't receive.
Yeah, you can't triple stamp a double stamp.
No, but I can stack a draw 2 on top of a draw 2.
And then from there, let's just say I go use my bonus action to go into my starry form and choose the form of the archer.
All right, so we're choosing the archer. Starry form. I think I'm gonna do. This is gonna be your starry form. Sound good? All right. Anything else?
Did you put something on me? Because I only see the heart icon.
Nope. I put it on Mordok. And it's not concentration. Neither of them are, right?
No, neither of these are concentration. They just happen.
Okay. And here's your little aura thing. There you go.
And when I change, and every turn is a bonus action, I can use archery, so I'm going to use it.
All right. I'm going to turn your character blue so we don't forget when you're in your starry form. Okay, go ahead.
I'm assuming an 11 doesn't hit the guy in front of Baylor.
It in fact does not.
Alright, moving on.
Alright, this guy right here. Hey look, the flanking. And thank you for rolling that nat 1, by the way. That was perfect. Because these guys recognized you. So we have multi-attack, because everything has multi-attack. We're making an attack with our scimitar. Does a 15 hit?
Unfortunately.
Alright, cool. So we're gonna use we didn't even have to move. We have pack tactics too. We're gonna go ahead and add another 2d6 to that. And also,
so that's a total of 10 damage so far?
Yep, 10 damage, and it's going to be acid damage. And that was the first attack.
Oh, 4 slashing, and then how much acid was the d6 that you're
It's
adding?
2d6. When it makes a weapon attack, the attack roll hits, it deals an extra. So it is a weapon attack. So I'm gonna say that it's probably still slashing. So it's probably 8 slashing.
Eight
I was gonna
slashing,
say.
2 acid.
Yeah, this is the fanatical advantage. That's how it reads. Once per turn, makes a weapon attack. Yeah, I'm assuming it's from the weapon. What was the question? Sorry.
So 8 slashing, 2 acid. Not that it matters right now.
Correct, but it will eventually. And then another scimitar. A nat 1. Heck yeah. And then he'll end up falling prone.
Well, if he has advantage, he hits me.
Oh, he does have advantage. Cool. He hits you instead. So there's 7 more. So 17 damage total.
From both?
Total at 17.
So
He can only do that that fanatical advantage thing once a turn.
52. Okay. Sorry, I had to update some numbers for you.
No worries. Well, that's unfortunate. It's going to be super unfortunate. Alright. This guy's gone. Valdis' turn. I guess Valdis is dead. You both have the same. Who wants to go first?
I will, because I'm going to tell Valdez as I'm running up to help protect Baylor. I'm going to run straight ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to start punching the dude that just punched Baylor, because that was rude.
It was rude, wasn't it?
Eight. Does an 8 hit?
An 8 does not hit.
My dice are broken. Does a 19 hit?
19 does hit.
Cool. 7 fire.
Okay.
I use a key point and do flurry of blows.
Okay. Yes.
Rival.
Okay.
Able.
One more?
Yep.
Yes.
16?
Mm-hmm.
For another 7.
Okay, cool. Ouch.
Now it's Valdez' turn.
I think Valdis is gonna go. No, it seems like this is in the wall. I think we're just gonna bite someone. Bite this guy. Oh, too bad that wasn't a crit. Alright, so 10 damage to this guy.
Valdis doesn't have pack tactics?
No, Valdis does not have.
Blasphemy.
Dragons don't hunt in packs!
Yeah,
Alright.
but he's not a regular, or she's not a regular dragon. She's our dragon.
It's true. Baylor.
Hey, I got him to say it's our dragon.
I mean, said dragon.
Nope, you said it.
What is Baylor gonna do?
So Baylor, completely ignoring the guy that just hit him in the back, will rage, but instead of turning into a beast this time, because I don't intend to use any of my most of my tail features, or most of my beast features, I won't turn all the way into a beast. I'll sprout a tail, and I'll grow in stature and in bulk, and still clutching my hammer.
Are you
my
large size?
No, but when I rage, I turn into I morph into my beast form.
Okay.
And instead of going all the way beast, because I want the hammer for flavor, I will just sprout the tail so that I have the form of the beast tail, and everything else is just going to be standard melee with my hammer.
You got it.
Just before that, though, I will cast Armor of Agathis on myself, and that's my turn.
Okay. Got it. And hiya. Yeah, we're just gonna do the thing where we do the attacking. Hiya.
Attacking me?
You, yep.
Yeah,
An
that's gonna hit for you, unfortunately.
Alright, cool. That is true. So that's gonna be 21 damage.
How much of that is halved?
Hang on, it's more than that. So it's down, so it's 10. So you take 12 total damage after everything.
12 total damage.
Mm-hmm.
He takes 10. I take 2. Armor of Agathis is gone.
Okay. Bam. Ouch. And he's going to go ahead. Flavor hammer is what Arpula says. And another scimitar attack with advantage, because fanatical advantage. 22.
Give me just a second. I have a thing that I can do. I just have to find it.
No worries.
I would like to use Stone's Endurance on that last hit.
On this
which
hit?
Allows me... no, the one right before it that I already took damage on.
You sure you want to do it? Or are you trying to keep your Armor of Agathis up for one more? Okay, got it. Understood.
So I can reduce the damage dealt by 1d12 plus 3.
Mm-hmm.
So I will roll a d12. So that's 4. 7 total damage I can take off of that. Takes that 12 down to 5. So I still have 5 points of Armor of Agathis. I'm going to give myself back those 2 hit points that I took off.
Mm-hmm.
Heal. Puts me at 52. He takes 10 points of damage. So
now he takes 10 more points of damage after dealing this to you.
Yes, now he takes 10 more points of damage, and I take how much?
You take not a lot. 3 plus 2.
It would be 1 plus 2, yeah.
So 3 damage.
Okay, so I still have 2 points of Armor of Agathis. He takes 10 cold damage.
Yep, he has done so. Mordok.
Oh, gee, I don't know what to do now. So I was going to do something, but I don't want to burn the spell slots. So
I will say that's one of the downsides to playing a cleric is like you have no way to get your spell slots back other than long rest.
That's correct.
Because like wizards still get like once per short rest you can do that arcane recovery thing, and druids, if you're a circle of land, can do the. Does the star thing? Do you get a wild recovery or whatever?
No. Oh, the one that Zed blasted, he gets to make a wisdom save.
You're talking about this guy?
Yep, that guy.
We're tolling him, huh?
Yep.
Charmed, frightened. No. All right, cool. Here we go.
We'll take 12.
Well, how about I just die?
Okay.
Okay. Mordok is done.
Wait, who died?
No, Mordok's fine. This guy right here.
Okay.
All right, and this guy across from you is going to attack now. Stop Armor of Agathis-ing everything.
Suit yourself, sir. 14. He doesn't have advantage anymore. 14 doesn't hit.
He does? They have pack tactics?
I don't think that's true. We have pack tactics. Negates. That's fine. It hits. Pack tactics on pack tactics on pack tactics.
Yeah. So anyway, so hang on. I have to roll 2d6 and add that to it. All right, so 9 plus the above.
9 plus 7 divided by 2 is a number.
So 16
anyway,
is 8. 8
is 8.
8 plus 5,
it's 13.
Right?
Yep.
Is 13.
13. He takes 10 damage. I take 11.
Okay. And Arbor of Agathis is gone?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Now that we've done that, why don't...
How is he looking, by the way? Because, like...
Unhappy.
Homeboy caught a couple.
This guy didn't. This is a new person. This is this guy.
Yeah, I
there's
thought the
4
guy
of them.
right in front of me hit me.
No, it was the guy up here.
Oh.
Alright, so, 7 damage from the second attack.
Okie doke. 7 damage divided by 2 is... Or 5 divided by 2 is...
So
2. 4 damage?
4 damage, yeah. Round down. Alright, and... the last person... This one's gonna go against... We'll do 1 scimitar attack against Valdis. Not at advantage. Good thing, too. And then the next attack is at Baylor with advantage. 22 hits, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so you'll take half of that, so down to 12. So 6, so 12 damage total.
Oh boy! What do you say? It's my turn again?
Not entirely. That's cool. Alright, 1 second here. And we will 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And we will open the door.
Rezmir and 2 guard breaks.
Heck yeah. Now I can give myself a Drake.
Oh, that's great. And we're going to use... Who's the scariest? The scariest looking thing is obviously... well, hang on. Let's rearrange this because we have new things in the initiative. Oh, look, I'm going to go first. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and shoot a caustic bolt at Baylor.
How far away are they from me?
And nat 1, heck yeah!
And completely blow up everyone in front of them.
Yep. So well, I guess we're taking the 24, so that's 5 acid damage. All right, Patron.
All right. So
Actually, let's do Patron, Zed, and then we're probably gonna call it tonight. This will be a good like right mid combat because we're not gonna be able to finish this before the end of the evening, and hopefully our person who is playing as Rezmir will be able to return next week. So, Patron, what do you want to do?
well, this is an oldie, but I feel like it's a goodie.
What are we doing? Oh, jeez, gross.
Where?
Let Carrington give me the key.
What was that again? Sorry.
So as soon as Carrington gives me the thing, I'll drop it.
All right, player tokens. I'm interested to know where this gets dropped so it doesn't just absolutely wreck everyone. I think that's correct. No, it's way too big. How big is it? 30 feet?
Yeah.
20 feet.
I think that's correct.
Perfect.
Can you see in there?
You have to put it on a lower layer.
I'm saying, can you see into the room to drop it there?
You stand right next to me, it can.
Okay.
I mean, do I have to, if I know that there is a room there, do I have to, like, see inside to make it happen?
Centered on a point within range. I'm going to say probably yes, but anyways, I'm going to say that you have to move up to here to do it. And then I'm fine with it. All right.
Okay.
Anything else from Patron?
I think I'm going to give Rezmir a fun time.
Okay.
I'm going to spend a sorcery point.
Okay.
You know what? No, I'm just doing the spike growth and I'm doing my archery.
Sounds good. Zed.
Hold on, I still got the bonus action archery.
Oh, you do have the archery.
I also think that the spike growth is a great cliffhanger to sit on.
If we want, yeah, we can just stop with it being Zed's
Like-
turn. Who are you
Yeah.
shooting, Patron?
Rezmir straight in the face.
Let me see if that hits.
God, I hope so. It's a 22.
It does hit. Okay, -9.
Like, what's Zed gonna do? Like, to top of the giant growth in the room.
Yep.
Pick up where we left off.
I'm gonna put some quick notes, and I always recommend doing this if you're gonna stop mid combat. Is just put down so spike growth in the room with Rezmir, and also we have what is it? What's the bond called?
Emboldening bond.
It's been up for 1 round, so it has 9 more.
Okay, and then the next one is you have your starry archer.
Also been up for 1 round, and I have 9 more.
1 round. All right, and then you
How
can just
long is
put that in
up
there.
for?
10 minutes.
Dang, son.
Yeah. All right, so that is where we will leave it for tonight. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us at our stream. If you like what you see here, please make sure that you give us a follow and also subscribe. It's a great way for you to get those brand new emotes that we just launched this week. Also, you can also follow us on our YouTube channel. You can also give us a follow on our Facebook page and on our Instagram, which heavily features our cat Elspeth. Early in July, we will be announcing when we will be doing our next charity marathon. So stay tuned for more details about that. We will be celebrating Tabletop Appreciation Day again, which is our big fundraiser. So if you like, again, what we do here, be sure to give us a donation here to our Extra Life, which benefits our local children's hospital, Roanoke Carilion Children's. So with that, thank you so much. Have a great evening and take heart.